Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. In case you don't know me, my name is Elias, and I help home care agencies get more leads, convert those leads into clients, and build the systems to go ahead and manage all that. Now, in today's video, I want to go ahead and discuss a very powerful email marketing mechanism called a newsletter and why you should go ahead and start it. And pretty much what you can look forward to in the video is us diving pretty deep and going into all of this, okay? So you should definitely stay tuned because I'm gonna have some very, very big tips for you, okay? But now, how to start a newsletter, and let's go ahead and quickly define what is a newsletter. A newsletter is a regular sequence of emails sent to your list of subscribers on a specific topic or interest in your industry. And in this case, that's home care, right? So a regular sequence, what I mean by that is, you're going to be sending these newsletters weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly, right? Depending on your cadence or maybe your schedule. And then also your list of subscribers, right? That's going to be anybody that has given you their email when they're looking for more info on your services, right? And so that's like, for example, on your website, typically home care agencies have a form where people can submit their phone number, their email, their name, and the reason they're trying to contact them. And so right there, that'll be somebody you'd consider your subscriber, and you would subscribe them to your newsletter. Okay. Now, how a newsletter fits in this concept of email marketing, right? And so quickly to define email marketing, it's simply all types of emails that are sent to prospects or clients, such as promotional emails, meaning things that you sell, and newsletters, right? And the key difference here is that newsletters specifically provide value through content rather than direct sales pitches, okay? And the way I want you to think about this or conceive this is, especially with home care, it's not as simple as going on Amazon, putting in, adding something to your cart and then shipping it to your house. When it comes to home care, it's a lot of more logical and emotional decisions that are being made. And that's exactly what leads up to the next point, which is one of the benefits of starting a newsletter, right? Since there's emotional decisions involved, you want to go ahead and position yourself as an authority figure, okay? Meaning you want to share your expertise and also build trust with these prospects, right? With your audience, right? So the next thing is also going to be you increase your brand's awareness, right? Reaching out to your prospects consistently allows you to stay top of mind. Okay. If they're hearing from you, every week, bi-weekly, or every month, right? They're going to remember, hey, that's that agency that I wanted to learn more about, and that allows them to go ahead and remember when they're ready to go ahead and pull the trigger to reach out to you. The next thing is going to be generating leads. You make it easy to share your info with someone else they know that might need your services. Okay, so when you go ahead and send over that email and they're like, hey, I think my Aunt Nancy, sounds like this is something she might need, they go ahead and send that over to her, or maybe send it over to, their cousin, which is the aunt's daughter, right? You make it easy to share that information, meaning you're able to generate leads on top of that. Okay. Now, why should you start a newsletter? Super important question. Okay. And it's for mainly two things. Okay. So one is nurturing. What do I mean by nurturing? So right here you have a funnel. Okay. And in case you don't know what a funnel is, it's pretty much a marketing and sales concept. Okay. On, having leads go through certain stages of the decision making and the buying process into inevitably becoming clients. Okay. So you have your leads at the top here. Then you have your landing spots, okay, whether that's, they talk to you face to face, or, they check out your website, right? It's that initial touch point. Then there comes the nurturing process, meaning, you're giving them all the information they need during this time to go ahead and make a decision if they want to continue moving forward with, in this case, an assessment. And then finally, on the assessment is when they decide to take action on becoming a client. Once they become a client, as you go ahead and provide great quality service, they go ahead and send a referral, and people start back at the top and go down the funnel again. Now with that out of the way, pretty much a newsletter is great for nurturing. Okay, what this does is it builds and maintains relationship with your leads, with your prospects over time. Okay, and you can see here that's where it plugs in. And the great thing about it is when people also share, right, because they found something valuable, and maybe somebody else, they know somebody else that can find this valuable. Again, it goes ahead, they send it to that person, and you generate a new lead. And guess what? They start back at the top. Okay. And last thing is it's a multi-channel approach. You're adding another channel at which you go ahead and reach out to somebody. Okay. And the important thing here is that you want to use, this phrase, right, that I use in my own company is you want to hit them from all angles. So you don't want to just reach out to them via phone. You want to also want to text them, email them, maybe reach out to them via social media, in person, right? So you want to hit them from all angles, not necessarily in a annoying way, right? You don't want to do this every day. But this is something you want to do consistently, right? Maybe every week, maybe bi-weekly, every month, every quarter, right? So that they don't just, it's not easier for them just to convert, but also they feel like, hey, this person, has followed up with me, you know, I appreciate how consistent they are. It seems like they actually care. Let me go ahead and talk to them and see if this is something that I'm looking to do, right? So that's why you should go ahead and start a newsletter, right? Helps with the nurturing process, helps with the decision making on whether they should go ahead and pursue this or not. Great. So now that you understand why you should go ahead and start your newsletter, how exactly do you do so, right? First things first, you don't want to be going on Gmail or Outlook or Yahoo, wherever, you regularly send your emails and just, type out the email and then send it over to your list. I recommend not doing that just because it's going to be more time consuming, and it's going to be a lot more difficult in the long run when doing so, right? You want to go ahead and create a great foundation. And so that starts with choosing the right software. Okay, so my personal recommendations are going to be ConvertKit or our own software, right? That's ClientCare. And so starting with ConvertKit, right? If you see here, if you go to convertkit.com, go to pricing, okay, they have a free plan, which I recommend you go ahead and check out. It's $0 and you get unlimited landing pages, email broadcasts, etc. And you can do that for up to 10,000 people or subscribers. And pretty much, once you go ahead and sign up, you're able to go ahead and upload your list of subscribers, pick one of their list of templates, and then go ahead and start sending emails. Okay, now the next one is going to be ClientCare. That's our software. This is what this looks like. There's going to be no data here because it's a testing account, but this is pretty much what you could expect. Now here on our software, it does more than just email marketing. It does text marketing, invoices. You can manage your websites. You can go ahead and do email and SMS conversations between leads. You have a CRM, a whole bunch of things. But just to go ahead and get to what we're talking about here, which is your newsletter, just go ahead, go to marketing, go to emails, templates, and for example, one template that we have here that we've created for our clients is called right here. So you can see here is for stay at home, and this is pretty much what it looks like. And this is going to be going on to the second point that I want to make here, right? Once you go ahead and choose the right software, you want to build a template. Now, a template is something that you're going to use instead of having to create each newsletter by scratch. You want to go ahead and pick something that is already going to have your logo, a title ready, some different call to actions, right? A call to action is like, hey, check us out more on our website. Hey, booking a free consultation, etc. And then also a footer, right? That is links to socials and website and also a subscribe button. So what does that look like? So for example, this is your header. Okay, this is where you're gonna have your logo, maybe company saying right here, and then some other things, right? Then you're gonna have the body. This is what the actual email, the description of it is gonna be. And then following that, you're gonna have the footer here, right? So for example, we can go ahead and go here and go to social. So you can go ahead and link all your socials here, right? You have your Facebook, your Instagram, whatever you use here, right? And then also your website, of course. And then also you want to give people the option to subscribe, right? You don't want to hold people hostage, meaning you don't want to make it so that they're able to not receive emails from you if they don't want to. Okay, that's super important. And so again, this is one template. You also want to go ahead and build out some more templates, right? I would say you could probably start off with 1 or 2 templates for now as you go ahead and get used to it. Again, this makes it easy because you can use this template, right? And then change it if you need to, right? If you want to do the topic on, let's say, tips for choosing home care services, right? So you change that here. You put tips for, different home care services you can receive, and then you go into detail about it here. So definitely that's the next step. It'll be building out your template. After that, right, now you're probably asking, hey, Elias, okay, I understand. I chose the software. I created my template, but what should I write in these newsletters? Great question. The focus of the newsletter should be to educate and to provide value to your audience. Okay. And some examples you can go ahead and use for topics is, for example, the difference between respite and personal care. That'd be a great newsletter to go ahead and send out, right? Because you're going to have some people in your audience that are going to be confused or, don't know what is the right service for them, whether that's respite or personal care. Something else is how to budget for home care, right? And these are going to be, you want to make topics on common questions that people tend to ask you, whether that's on the phone or on the assessment, etc. You want to write those down, right? When you get asked these questions, like, wow, that'd be great for a newsletter, right? Because at the end of the day, your ideal client better than they do. So you should know what type of questions naturally come up, and those are topics that you can go ahead and create. Other things would be great things would be testimonials from clients. Okay, so that's like whether that's written and you have a picture of them while you're there, or it could be a video, right? You can also send over a video that they can check out of you. It doesn't have to be high quality. Again, a lot of this is personal. They want to feel that personal connection, since again, there's emotional decision when it comes to signing on a home care agency to take care of a loved one, right? So you can make it personal. Record them or record you and your client. Providing a testimony, how you changed their life, etc. And some other things are like health and wellness tips for seniors and disabled. Okay. Now that you understand that, the last thing I want to add when it comes to creating your newsletter, and honestly, just for any type of writing, is leveraging AI. Okay. Now stay with me for a second. This is gonna be super simple. It's not anything technical, I promise. So have AI write your first draft for an idea, right? Or brainstorm new topics for your newsletter. My personal recommendation, you guys have probably heard it, and if you haven't already, I'll show you right now. It's ChatGPT. And what does that look like? So when you go to chatgpt.com, okay, you're gonna see the screen right here. Okay, and this is free, so you don't have to pay for it. And so, for example, right, let's say we wanted to go ahead and right here, right, we like this one. We want to know how to budget for home care. We want ChatGPT here to go ahead and write us a draft on it, just so we can skip over the trial period of brainstorming, which is usually going to take the longest, and then actually get to start writing. So, for example, right here, I'm creating a new newsletter for my home care agency, and I want the topic for this newsletter to be, right, how to budget for home care. Create the first draft in an informative and professional tone, right? So it'll go ahead. We gave it a quick draft. So right here, look, here's a first draft for your newsletter on how to budget for home care, right? So let's say here that this is the topic, right? Then it goes here, planning for home care can be a daunting task, especially when it comes to managing the associated costs, yada, 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 right? And then if you notice here, look at this. It goes ahead and it starts writing the draft of the email. Now, super, super important, okay? Do not send this exactly, don't just copy and paste this and just send it over, right? At the end of the day, this, again, is something personable. It's supposed to be something valuable. Okay. Now, while this is educative, okay, this is, you want to make it seem like it came from you, that it actually has a human touch to it. Okay. So you want to use this as a draft. Okay. You see, okay, I like this. Assess your needs, research costs, explore funding options, create a budget plan. And then, so for example, if you can tell it, be like, okay, well, I had in mind for them to go ahead and create a budget. Can you go deeper? Can you rewrite the first draft and instead focus on, let's say, creating a budget plan for home care, right? Yeah. So instead, let's say I wanted it to go ahead and go. I had in mind for you to go deeper into creating a budget plan. And so what you can do is, I asked it to rewrite the first draft and instead focus on creating a budget plan for home care. Okay, and so look at this right here, right? So now it's gonna go ahead and get that context. You gave it more context as to what you wanted, and it goes ahead and starts writing that, right? Notice, okay, this is for your first draft. You can go ahead and copy and paste this, let's say into your notes, right, on your computer or on the actual, on the softwares, and you can go ahead and edit things, right? Change things and be like, okay, I like the way they said this, but I would actually, say it more like this, or I'll add more context around this. And so what this does is, again, you're skipping over that brainstorming phase, or even just the whole draft phase, and you have something that you can use as concrete. Foundationally, it's great, it's sound, and you can just quickly build off that. And so instead of taking like 2 hours, 3 hours to go ahead and write a newsletter, you can, once you go ahead and get the systems right, you have your template, you have everything, it could probably take you 30 minutes, right? 15 minutes max, depending on how short it is. Okay. So I hope that was informative and that made sense. Okay. I recommend that. And then, so something I do want to address, and a common concern that I've heard, from my clients, is they're afraid of annoying people, right? And that is a valid concern. Okay. So something I want you to remember is, one, they gave you their email. Okay. So obviously you have the right to go ahead and contact them via email, right? Because they gave that to you. So second thing is, people have the option to unsubscribe if they no longer wish to receive your emails. Okay, so that is definitely not a problem, right? They don't have to block you or anything. If they just simply do not want to receive your emails, they can go ahead and click unsubscribe at the bottom, just like how, most companies do so. And then lastly, as long as your content is educational and valuable, you'll have anyone hardly looking to subscribe, right? So obviously you don't want to give people a reason to unsubscribe. You don't want to, you know, constantly sound salesy, right? And, sell your services. No, again, at the end of the day, the newsletter is there to educate and provide value. Okay. And this is important because the person that goes ahead, let's say, to give you a quick analogy, let's say, you're walking, you get to the door first, and, commonly you go ahead and open the door and let the person through, right? But let's say, the person's like, hey, are you going to open the door? Because you're there waiting for the door to be opened. And you're like, yeah, but you're going to have to pay me $5 in order for me to open the door. They're going to be like, what? It's going to come across as rude, right? If you're going to be direct and that salesy. Instead, if you open the door, right, they go ahead, wow, this person's actually pretty nice. They went ahead and opened the door for me. Maybe you initiate the conversation. Hey, how are you? You get to know the person, you get to warm them up, and actually inevitably think that, like, wow, this person's great. I'd actually love to learn more about what they do or who they are or etc. Right? And this is exactly the purpose of a newsletter. You want to go ahead and establish yourself as an authority figure, build trust, warm up the lead so that they inevitably open up to you and actually trust you when it comes to making that emotional decision in becoming their home care provider. Now, last thing I want to do, I want to leave you with some tips on having a successful newsletter, right? It's 4 quick key points, okay? Number 1, you need to have a consistent schedule, okay? So, right, especially when you're implementing this in the first couple of weeks, let's say, it's going to be hard for you to go ahead and find consistent time to go ahead and schedule this in, but it's super important that you do so. Why? Because the more familiar the prospect is with you, the easier it is to convert them into clients. If they can expect to get your email, let's say on Friday at 12 p.m., right? Then they also receive another email Friday at 12 p.m. They're going to commonly expect you to reach out to them Friday at 12 p.m. And it's just like your favorite shows, right? They have a schedule, right? It's on Thursdays at 8 p.m., right? You have, criminal law shows, right? You have an expected schedule that you're always looking forward to, and it's expected. Okay, you're not gonna do this randomly, and they're gonna be like, "Wait, why is this person contacting me?" It's gonna feel weird. It's gonna feel random. You want it to be consistent. Second thing is gonna be personalization, right? So a quick tip for this is you want to make sure you have the recipient's first name, last name separated in different categories when you're uploading your list, and also have their email. You just need those 3 main things. Okay, and so you want to go ahead and use something like this, right? This is what we call a custom value, right? So simply is In your first name category, okay, it's going to be like, hey, first name. So it'll be, hey, Samantha, hey, Sabrina, whatever it is, okay? And so you can go ahead and splash some of these throughout the, like if you're speaking directly to them, in the email, you can spread that throughout the email, or you can just leave it in the beginning, right? So, hey, first name, I wanted to go ahead and write you this quick article or this quick newsletter on this specific thing, okay? Third thing, you want to do a clear CTA, right? In case you remember, call to action, okay? And you want to encourage your prospects to take actions. This is like check out our website, book in a free assessment, give us a call to find out more. Okay, you want it to be clear on what should be the next step after they're done reading your newsletter. Super, super important. Last thing is you want to go ahead and review metrics. You'll want to take note of, okay, when inevitably once you send out 3, 4, 5, of these emails, of these newsletters, you want to go ahead and see, okay, which emails are being opened the most, what topics are your subscribers liking the most, okay, which ones are they engaging with the most, which types of emails are causing people to book in more assessments, right, or giving you calls, or whatever the end goal is of the newsletter. Reason you want to go ahead and track common things like this is because if you can trace what emails are being successful, you can continue doing more of that, right? Which is giving, and that inevitably gives you more success, right? So you find something that works, you want to do more of that, and you want to do that better, and keep doing that, keep doing that, keep doing that until you see that, hey, my newsletters, right, every month are getting me one client consistently. And so if you think about it, if you're doing one newsletter every month, okay, and that is bringing you a client every month, then think about it. 15 minutes spent for acquiring one client. I mean, that's amazing. Now, of course, you can scale this up, right? And inevitably maybe get 2 clients, 3 clients, right? And who knows, maybe one of those clients can land you a 24/7, a 24-hour client, which, can result in again, like 5-figure, 6-figure levels of income just from that one client, right? So at the end of the day, again, just to kind of recap of what we talked about, okay? Simply put, the reason you should go ahead and start a newsletter is what this does is it nurtures, okay? It builds, maintains relationship with your prospects over time, right? It helps you during the nurturing process, which is super important, right? You don't just generate leads, you're also helping yourself convert those leads to inevitably become clients, okay? Now, if you found this video useful, you can go ahead, please share it, like it, subscribe more if you want to go ahead and learn more. Feel free to go ahead and share this if you know anybody who can use this as well. And then lastly, I have a link down below. You can go ahead and check out to go ahead and speak with me or my team, and we can go ahead and talk about how we can implement this into your home care agency. I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great one.